The views and opinions on this very late podcast are not necessarily those of Ends Pending, its guests, or its sponsors. In other words, if you are offended easily, maybe go back to watching something with James Corden.
Hey, Burr Martin here, the Burr Martin Experience podcast. Look, do you do something very cool? Are you a cool person yourself? Do you need other people to know more about you or the things you do? Well, then advertise on this very podcast. It's really simple. You just go to advertisecast.com. That's advertisecast.com, advertisecast.com/the Burr Martin Experience. Rates are cheap, cheaper than you think, and there's plenty of options. 10-second ad, a 30-second ad, a 60-second ad, a podcast promo. You can run them once, twice, you can run them the full month, I don't care. You pay the website pays me, and I tell everyone about you. It's a win-win-win situation. All you have to do is contact me, and we'll work together on creating the best ad for you. You come up with the ideas, I produce it, and then I put it out there. Come on, be the Tonto to my Lone Ranger. Let's you and I be advertising buddies. Go to advertisecast.com, and let's get you your 15 minutes of fame. Heaven knows I'm not using them anymore. Go ahead to advertisecast.com/the Burr Martin Experience now.
Chris Martin has become an internet star after copying the selfies that his 19-year-old daughter posts on Instagram.
It's exactly what the world needs right now.
We know that you are voted Hero of the Week in the UK.
This is my favorite dude right now.
Chris Burr Martin. Visionary. Genius. American patriot.
There's Selfie Dad now. Selfie Dad, come on in here. Burr Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast, the very late edition of this episode 2. I am your narcissistic host, Burr Martin, and to my left is my lovely co-host, Janny of the Dog Lady Rants podcast.
Almost forgot my name and almost forgot the name of my podcast.
Because it was anonymous for the longest time. So in my head, I don't know whether I should say anything or not. So I kind of bumble
You
it.
could ask me before the podcast how you should introduce it.
Can I say it?
Yeah. I guess
All right, then.
Okay, there you go. I thought we...
And done.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was funny. I was listening to a podcast today, and because I do a lot of hosting, the last couple of times I went to Spokane Comedy Club to do stand-up, it went okay. It wasn't great. I got a few laughs, and that was all right. But they were talking about the Emmys and how the two guys that were doing it were hosting it. They're from Saturday Night Live, and they're comedians. And when you do a joke and then you wait, they're not hosts, and so there's a difference. And I'm starting to notice that I'm more of a host. Like, I can play off this, but a joke, there's a difference. He was saying he was watching the Emmys, and it was like these guys would tell a joke and then they would wait, and it's like that's not how you host something.
You're used to joking all day long about whatever versus staged joking.
Right. It's because if I memorize a joke, I feel myself telling the joke as I have it memorized.
Got it.
Yeah. But
That
anyway,
makes sense.
So I don't know. That just reminded me, just the way we started this, that I could have said a joke and I didn't. I ran with it because I am a great host. Okay.
Sorry, I laughed a little too hard on that.
You did a little bit too hard. You know
Too
what?
much.
Might want to pull in your fake laugh just a little bit on that one. This podcast is late because we had a family emergency
Yeah, that was
of
fun.
a different sort.
Oh, super fun.
And I started thinking, before we get into it, in case nobody knows, I started thinking it was just an appendicitis, and everybody says, "Oh, it's a simple operation, and everything should be fine, and blah blah blah." But your day can change like that,
Oh, yeah.
and that frightens me every day.
That was not what I had planned for Monday.
No, and you just wake up, and that's different.
Yeah.
I'm Captain Kirk and the Kobayashi Maru. I've never faced death. Because I thought, okay, I mean, there is a very small possibility that this could have killed Cassie.
Yeah.
But it's a possibility. It's out there.
Had it been ignored, it would have.
Right,
Yes.
which she was going to do.
No, she wasn't.
She
She was being smart.
But I've never. Your sister passing is probably the closest person I've ever had close to me. And even though I knew her, it's not like we called each other every day.
It wasn't like your family member. I mean, like
Right.
somebody that you grew up with or a parent
Right.
or something. Yeah.
And so I just started feeling like, I don't know if you probably get the term, but the whole thing. But in Star Trek 2, when Kirk says, I've never faced death, I've
right.
cheated it and laughed, and
Right.
I just started thinking, like, what's going to happen to me when something real happens? Because I broke down off just something stupid. I mean, when you,
I'm going to hire you a nurse and I'm going to go to a hotel until you recover from
you
your
should.
breakdown.
I absolutely leave for a week.
I'm not going to do that.
Because you were with her during all this, and for anybody that doesn't know, she had appendicitis. But you texted me and said she needs ice cream, so I went to Walmart and I'm looking around and I couldn't find it, and then a guy walks by me, and one of my hugest pet peeves, besides talking in a movie theater, is when you bring your pet into Walmart and it's not a service animal. I don't care what it is. Be an adult. Leave it at home. And this guy, in his, I'm sure, official Army wife beater looking shirt, had his pit bull with him walking through the aisle, like not a care in the world. Rules don't apply to me, and it made me angry.
And you can tell the difference between a service dog and just somebody's pet
Oh,
going
right.
along, because a service dog is working. They have a very different mannerism than somebody just walking in with their dog kind of trailing behind them.
And this dog was working because he was pulling the guy with nothing
that's
on
not
it.
a service animal.
No, leash was taut, pulling him around. Rules don't apply to me in my 1980s biker boots. And so I was angry at that. And then I couldn't find the mint chip. And I'm looking around, and one of the employees at Walmart, she goes, can I find anything? And I started to feel like I was going to cry. And I'm like, I can't find a mint chip. Sorry to offend all women, but I felt like I was on my period and I needed to rush home because it was the final episode of Gilmore Girls.
I am glad you finally have had that experience.
Now
you understand.
I'm standing in front of the ice cream aisle and I don't, for some reason, my voice is shaking. I'm like, I can't find it. And she looked at me like, well, he's got to get this ice cream to a funeral or something. Like, no, and then I couldn't find Austin to text him, to tell him what was going on, and it just, I don't know. I couldn't handle her going for a simple procedure. I'm frightened of what's going to happen if something
And I didn't
real.
know if you should come down to the hospital because it was so quick. They're just like, well, she'll be out in a half hour and an hour recovery, and then you'll be out. And it was
and there's guilt
really
involved.
fast. So
should I be there? Even though you told me she's going to be in and out, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
As a parent, should I be there? Should I be here because Taylor didn't want to go to the hospital? You're watching one kid and not the other. Do you remember a while back, you and your sister Linda were driving somewhere and the car broke down, and I believe Linda was pregnant.
Oh my gosh, that was so long ago.
And you
were we
it's still
even
in my head.
Married back then? It was
And so you
early.
had to hitchhike.
I didn't have to hitchhike. I was sick in the car. I felt really sick.
Oh, that's right.
And
okay.
Linda was. They were trying to find a ride to go to go call somebody for help, and it was, are you going to stay with your sick wife, or are you going to go with her sister who is pregnant with strangers?
Right.
And her husband was very upset that you didn't go with her.
And that was the whole Sophie's Choice or whatever you call it. I mean, that was rocking a hard place. Like, I don't know which one to do. You can't fend off an attacker. You're sick. She's pregnant.
She's 2 though. But that was early before you had kids, so you.
But she's also had kids, so she knows how to rough somebody up. I mean, I was just
Yeah.
But it was one of those things. I didn't know what to do, and life's like, TikTok, mother, you better start picking. That's what I felt like. So,
Yeah.
So take me through the day, how it's, because I was at work. So take me what actually happened.
Well, she just sent me a message and she said, my side hurts. It's just, kind of on one side, and it's been, hurt a little bit last night. And it, it's just hurting this morning and it won't go away. And the more I walk around, the worse it is. And I thought, okay, well, it could be like a ruptured cyst. That's kind of a girl thing you can get. And it feels about the same.
I'm not a doctor, but I've heard of those.
So I said, but let's get it checked out anyway, just in case. And so went out to get her, and we went into, she tried to get a regular appointment, and the office out in Cheney was full. And so they said, well, you can go into minor emergency out in the valley. So we go into minor emergency, and immediately, because of where it's at, they said we can't diagnose one way or another whether or not it's appendicitis. All we know is it could be. And they said probably ruptured cyst or appendicitis.
Did they use like quotation marks with their fingers? It could be.
Could be.
We know what it is, but it could be.
Well, it was surprising because when we went up there and she explained where it was and stuff, they got her right back immediately.
Okay.
They got someone in there immediately, and they got her back out the door immediately and said, you need to go to the ER. We're going to send you over to the hospital, and you need to have an ultrasound done there. So,
and you said,
crud.
Oh man, I'm a moron. Is that the same as a CAT scan?
You know what? I don't know. I don't think it is. No. Oh, no, it's not, because they had, no, it's totally different.
Because there were no cats involved.
No cats involved.
They just stared at her.
Ultrasound is where they put kind of a thing
okay,
on
that's
you.
the whoop,
exactly,
okay.
like we were, when I was pregnant. But with the CAT scan, they actually injected iodine into her, and then I think she had to go into a machine, and it had so it was very different.
finds where it went through the veins or whatever. It's almost
like they didn't explain much. She hated it. And keep in mind, she'd eaten about 10 o'clock. I think I had like a cookie and some milk first thing in the morning. I did like the dog chores. I know.
You're an adult, right?
I know. Well, it was quick and easy, and I had all my dog chores, and then I had a phone call with a gal that took like, I don't know, like half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. And so I really hadn't sat down and made breakfast. Cassie had something very quick that morning, like soup or something, because she was kind of feeling sick already. And so that was about, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So here it's noon, and we're talking about, okay, so when we're out of here, we're just going to get this quick checkup, and we're going to get something to eat because we're both starving. So they sent us over to the ER, and I'm like, oh, crap. This is going to be like 4 hours. And I was joking. Yeah. It's going to be 4 hours. And we walk in, there's like 3 people in the waiting room.
So that will be about an hour.
Well, I'm thinking this will be quick. Well, no, it took forever.
Let me guess. Within that hour, no one in the ER moved. Because I've seen that where everybody sits there and no one is called.
And you look around and you go, well, that guy was already here. That guy was already here. That guy just came, so we're before him. And then, no one moves. So finally they get us back there. They kind of, they tell us the same thing the other doctors said. Well, it's probably this or it could be this. And we're going to get you in for a CAT scan. They put a catheter in her arm, which, of course, she hated. Put some.
Well, yeah, because her arm is if you took like 3 fingers of your hand and balled them up, that's about as thick as her wrist.
So she goes, and they go back and do that, and they come back and they say, it'll be about 45 minutes for the results. And this had already been 3 hours, I think, of waiting around and stuff. So 3, maybe 4. So then they say it's going to be 45 minutes till we get the results. We're like, oh my gosh, and we're starving. We're like, okay, as soon as we get these results, and that's all it is a cyst, because it wasn't that bad. It was really low, and we're like, that's not appendicitis. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go get something to eat. And Cassie's like, I'll pay it. Let's go to Hong Kong buffet. I really want sushi. So we're just stoked. We're gonna go get sushi and stuff.
Did either one of you think maybe just gas?
Actually, the doctor said, and I will use the exact same phrasing, he said it could be a big turd football in there. Oh. He says sometimes.
Is that the official?
You just have to have a bowel movement.
How many years of doctor school did you go to? Okay, turn to chapter 7 for football-sized turds.
They were pretty descriptive. So the guy comes back. We're thinking we're going to be out of there. The guy comes back and he says, "Well, you're going to get a new scar." And she lost it. She's never.
Well, because she has anxiety problems.
Yes,
And
has
that-
anxiety problems, and she is scared to death of going under, and that completely freaked her out, and she lost it.
Well, because you woke up in the morning and you eat breakfast and you watch The Office rerun, and I mean, you're not thinking, well,
Yeah.
today I'm going into surgery.
And it's something that they do all the time. In fact, they said they had like 5 or 6 of them that day. I mean, it's very, very common.
From what she has told me that the doctors and nurses were saying, I think they're a little too cavalier about the whole thing.
Well, you can't not be. You can't leave it.
They do them 10, 20 times a day. But the person going in only has it once.
Once a lifetime, yes.
Because she was saying the nurses were like, "Oh, honey, you're just hungry. Don't you?" Because she was having an attack, and they're like, "Oh, you're fine. You're just hangry.
You're hangry, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I mentioned the food thing, so I shouldn't, because the nurse kind of
That's kinda
glommed
what
onto
they-
that. And I think,
okay.
and I think what they think is, oh, she's a young girl. They all say they have anxiety. That's a thing.
Oh.
She's having an anxiety attack, whatever. They don't understand it's like a diagnosed disorder, and that she's actually arms have gone long.
Right.
numb.
She went blind once.
Yeah.
So
lost her vision for like 30 seconds or
Yeah.
something. It's
a thing.
It's a serious physical thing. Yes.
See, and right
So-
there, I probably would have lost it on the nurses. Just
Well, no, they were being super friendly, so it's not like you lose it on them or anything. But
I don't know when I'm gonna lose it.
Cassie was starting to get a little bit irritated with that. But and so they told her, well, it could be later this evening that you have this done. It could be tomorrow, which freaked her out because it was. They said if it was bad, like to the point where they really needed to worry, she would not be able to sit herself up in bed. And she could get up all by herself and stuff. So it wasn't so inflamed that it was going to burst. It was just starting. So they caught it really, really early.
this was not my understanding.
No. It was, they caught
Because
it early.
when you're texting me like rush, 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 I'm thinking it's going to burst.
Oh, no. They just had, they had the opening. They had someone else that was going in. And then it was like, boom, she's going in for surgery right now.
Okay.
Not that it was like that urgent.
Okay.
It was that they could get her in then.
Did not convey that too much on the text.
Sorry. So sorry. I usually don't convey emotion in my text. So,
So she goes in. They finally call her.
she goes in. Yep.
They put the needle in her arm.
She already has the catheter in. So, yeah, they get her on like some antibiotics and things like that first before she goes in. And the doctor comes and talks to her, and she's all, good with that. Softest, squishiest hands in the world this surgeon had. I just have to. I have to comment. I shook his hands twice.
I don't know if I like
He
that or
has
not.
Soft, squishy hands.
Like dough?
just really soft.
Like if you were to squeeze a roll?
Well,
that's
they
just-
weren't that squishy.
I don't know if I want that in a surgeon.
You gotta have. Well, you can't have little manly, callous hands that have been caught in
I
a
want
lawnmower blade a couple of times.
I
You
want long
'cause
6-inch fingers that are bony because he can pick up a
you
needle.
want him to be nimble.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking like house fingers.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm thinking he walks around and has like these alpaca mittens that are loaded with lotion. That he walks around with his hands.
Just-
in
he's not
it.
a hand model.
His hands are in the air,
I
and he
wanna-
just has them like soft all the time and protected, like maybe like bubble wrap around him.
I want a doctor that pokes himself in the finger with needles while he's at home, just to get used to that feeling. Just
Great, well, sure.
I want a tough doctor. I want
him to injure his fingers while he's there. But it was funny because the anesthesiologist came over and started explaining the procedure and everything. And then he says, no, we are going to need to, put a tube down your throat to help you breathe. And he says, while you're under, we'll go ahead and do that. She's like, you got to put a tube down my throat. And I could tell she was picturing herself with all this huge apparatus on her
mask and-
face.
okay.
Yeah, and it completely freaked her out because she's seen too many of these scary movies where people don't wake up or they feel everything or
when
it's
they pull the tube out, it's like 5 feet long.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly. So she starts freaking out a little bit again. And the guy says, you know what? He says, I'm going to give you a little bit of I don't care medicine. I'm like, that's
Which
a
I think
good
we all
idea.
need.
I know. And so she starts to freak out a little bit more, and he walks around behind and just kind of slips it in her IV and then tells her he did it. And so
Okay.
within just minutes, she's like, oh, yeah, this is good. Wow, this is different.
Seeing butterflies.
So then she said she was totally fine, and she was a little nervous when they put the mask over her face, and apparently when they put the stuff in to make her go to sleep, it feels like bees stinging, which you assume it's just going to be sleepy medicine, and it feels good.
It just made her tingle, I think.
Apparently it. Well, they said it's going to sting, and then she said it stung, so I don't know. But
maybe not put that in her head first.
and then of course she woke right back up afterwards, like, wait, what happened? Because you just I think because your brain is not measuring, that you don't have dreams or anything, so you're not measuring time really. So it goes from you went to sleep, you woke up, oh, we're done. And apparently she was saying some really funny things while she was coming out of it, because the nurse kept mentioning, but she wouldn't say specifically what she said, but she just said she was saying some really funny things when she woke up. But Cassie said that she was telling her about going to get sushi and how this wasn't planned. And so
I need to look up on Google and find out why there were 3 holes.
Yeah, they said it was a laparoscopic surgery, which I don't.
And they had to blow
all that
up
tells me
air
it's surgery in
her-
the lap. That's all.
Did the doctor just put her on my lap?
Yeah.
And then we'll finish this up.
Yeah, and she wondered why her shoulders were sore, and they said, yeah, they blow air up under your
Just
skin.
inflate you like a turkey.
It's really
Or like a football.
I have to look that up on YouTube or something and see what the heck
Well,
is
because
going
some guy
on.
at work said that's what they did to his dad when they were
Yeah.
putting something in his heart. They blew up his body. Which, if you go back and you watch like Kurt Russell's The Thing, some of the things they do, like this one guy sticks his fingers in another guy's face and stretches it and pulls the guy, and I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of fakey. But the more I've seen with like bodies and stuff, it's like, no, that can happen.
That
Our
can
bodies
actually
are just
happen.
meat bags. They can just blow you up
Covered in
like with a
skin.
tube, and
Yeah.
it's so gross.
Yeah, they made the incision where her belly button piercing was. So
Yeah, she's very upset about
she's
that.
She's not happy with that. So that's,
But what did you have to do today?
oh, I'm not going to say that out loud on the air. I had to clean her belly button out.
So gross. But she can't see it. So, ladies
No,
and gentlemen,
she can't. She
just
can't.
in case anything ever happens to you and you have to go to the hospital, wear clean underwear and make sure your belly button's clean.
Well, no, it
We
had
can't
stuff in
stress
it
that
from the
enough.
surgery. It was yes. It had
Blood pool.
bled into her belly button. Yeah, it was very gross.
So gross.
And I was telling her, I'm like, I have cut the umbilical cords off of puppies. I have blown in their wet little noses to revive them. And this grosses me out. And all I had to do was stick a Q-tip in her belly button.
Yeah, because a dog needs you. You have 2 able hands.
I
Dig
know,
out your own belly
got a
button.
mirror and some arms.
Oh, the things you have to do as a parent.
Oh,
And I think I told you the girl at work, Michelle and I were talking about being parents, and we've talked one girl out of ever wanting kids.
Oh, you
Like
were
she's
awful.
done. She's like, I'm not having kids.
You're
Your
awful.
guys' stories are awful. This just is another piece of bologna on the sandwich of life here.
Imagine how boring our lives would be, though, without kids.
Oh, it'd be so great. Wait, what?
Oh, my gosh. You would have nothing. You would
Nothing
be
to-
so boring.
Well, I dang sure wouldn't have gone on the internet. That's
I would be so sick of your jokes.
Oh,
you
no.
wouldn't have any new
You
material
would've-
without kids.
you would have killed me by now. And I would not have blamed you in the least.
Honey, I'm going to bury you now. I know.
I know.
I understand.
I understand. I've said the same joke 8 times just today.
I'm going to cover you with a pillow now.
Could you
I
just move so
understand.
I could finish watching the rest of The Office for the 13th time straight through? Because I have nothing else to do. So anyway, that is why the podcast is late. The terrors of being a parent, because you never know what could happen.
was-
Taylor's in the room.
Taylor's in the house.
She was our first operation because she had a Q-tip in her ear and a dog jumped on her and burst her eardrum.
She was playing Alien on the couch with Q-tips sticking out of her ears.
Oh, that was just... So cool. And that was like the Family Guy thing. Leave it in or pull it out. Leave it in or pull it out.
Yeah, that was fun getting that call at work.
Yeah, and then Austin got stitches because I had left a box cutter at home, and apparently he played with it and cut his wrist.
He was wanting to cut a banana.
But he has the coolest little spider scar.
It's like what did Cassie call it? She called it.
It looks like the back of Spider-Man's costume. It's round, and it's got like 3 legs on one side and 3 legs on the other.
She said it was like a possessed centipede or something is what she called it.
It looks like a human centipede, and it's just disgusting.
Oh, you're disgusting.
Goes all the way up his arm. There's like 8 or 9 people on it.
Gross. You're nasty.
So anyway, so that explains this podcast. Also, I am super lazy, and it is Tuesday night, so this will be commercial free. I saw that the nerd over at Pans Pending is doing theirs ad free because theirs is late. So it's Assistant Editors Month, and it's all going to be late. So
Slackers Week.
Congratulations, it's ad free. So Taylor's up here.
Hello,
I know
Taylor.
you had a. You had something.
She's always got something.
You were going to do
interesting.
an update. All right, hop up here and do an update. And if you stay long enough, I want to play a game with you and Mom. That shouldn't have sounded as gross as it did. All right, so you have an update on a rapper.
His name was Mac Miller.
All right. Was.
He OD'd.
And I heard that one of his quotes... Is there a television on, or is that just a really close cop?
There's a siren.
I heard that one of his quotes was he didn't ever want to OD because no one will remember you. That's what losers do, or something like that. And then he ended up doing that. But everybody's got their demons, and sometimes the demon wins.
Yep.
So, what was he kind of famous for? Like, well, obviously he rapped, but did he have like big hits or a following? Or 'cause I know nothing about him. I haven't listened to new music ever. I'm old and I listen to 70s.
He's been on Ridiculousness like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I remember that one. All right, he seemed okay, dude.
Yeah, I only listened to like a few or some of his music, but like I know a little bit about, like, he dated Ariana Grande for like a long time.
Oh, that's right. And
but
some
then they
people
broke up.
Some people think that may be part of the reason why, because she's
dumb,
dating that
honestly.
dude from Saturday Night Live who... Remember, Janny, do you remember the podcast we talked about where they were talking about Ariana Grande's new beau has butthole eyes? Because they're all sunk in. We talked... Yeah, because they're sunk in, so people thought he had some weird disease or something like that. But... Yeah, because this Mac Miller guy, he didn't look too bad. He looked like an okay dude. When your girl goes for like an uglier dude, you kind of feel really bad. Hey, like, was it me? Was it? So yeah, I heard a little bit of that was he couldn't get over her leaving him. Well, that blows. All right, you got anything else?
I literally just had something.
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem are fighting. I don't know if they're still fighting, but like their diss tracks are pretty fire.
Okay. Now explain in subtitles what you just said.
What do you mean?
Their songs are really good?
They're songs that they made for each other are good.
Are they in love?
No.
What are they?
No.
Did he write one for him? And Kelly wrote one. They wrote one for each other.
Ew. No.
They hold hands while they're rapping. I don't know.
I want to go back downstairs.
What do you mean for each other?
Like they're fighting.
Oh, so he's like, Machine Gun Kelly sucks, yo, and he's putting that, and then Machine Gun Kelly's like, Eminem sucks, yo, and They're just doing that? They're just rap battling or?
Sure. But like the beginning of Machine Gun Kelly, MGK's.
Of course. That's what I call him when I talk to him on the phone.
Stop! At the beginning of it, he like instantly goes for his face. He's like, someone get some trimmers because his effing beard is weird.
I saw that someone said that he looks like Topher Grace. You know the skinny kid from 70 Show?
Oh, yeah.
So somebody said that he looks like that kid if that kid were a lumberjack.
No.
That's kind of what he looks like right now. If that kid were like playing a lumberjack on a movie.
No.
All right. Stick around because I want you and Mom to play a game. All right? This will be fun. This is going to see how white Mom is or how in touch with the rap world you are. All right. So, Jenny, get over here. We've got a game going on here.
Do I get the microphone and the headphones?
You two are going to have to share.
What?
So it'll be like a game.
Do I get the headphones?
You can grab a chair behind me. There's a chair behind me. Yeah.
I'm comfy.
All right. So just remember, when you know the answer, just go ahead and say it into the microphone. Now, I am going to give you rap lyrics from a famous rapper. And I stumbled on that. All right.
I know one.
So this is a game. There's going to be no editing, so this is all. So I'm going to give you a famous rap lyric. I'm going to tell you who it's from, and then I'm going to give you multiple choice on how it ends.
Wait, is it going to be like old songs like Eminem?
These
and, like,
I typed in top 20 most famous rap songs.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Oh, okay.
So it could be new and it could be old. All right, and I did try to clean them up. All right, so we're going to see who's the best here. All right, ready?
Okay.
The first one is from Lil Wayne. I Feel Like Dying. All right. Swimming laps around a bottle of Louis the 13th, jumping off a mountain into a sea of codeine. I'm at the top of the top, but still I climb. Does that end with A, and if I fall, it'll be great? B, and if I fall, the ground will quake? Or C, and if I should ever fall, the ground will then turn to vine?
C.
Turn to vine, not divine. Sorry.
I think it's C too.
You think it's C?
I do.
It is C. I'm at the top of the top, but still I climb, and if I should ever fall, the ground will then turn to wine. Okay.
So you made the mistake of saying in the other ones that he will fall, and I don't think that he is.
I'm not a good rap lyrist. All right. Second one, Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice.
Oh, goody.
All right. Rolling down the street. Wait, try and do it like Snoop Dogg.
Oh my
Rolling
gosh, good
down
luck with
the
that.
street, smoking Indo, sipping on the gin and juice. Lay back with my mind on my money and A, lay back with my mind on my honey. B, lay back with my money on my mind. Or C, lay back with my money. Lay back with my mind on my money, smoking J with my homie.
C.
C seems typical Snoop Dogg, but I'm going to say A.
Okay. I don't have a pen for a score. That is, each of you gets one. Your mom gets two.
What?
Lay back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Is the end of that one.
Wait, no, I said A, and that's my mind on my honey.
Oh, that was A. Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
no
said
one said
A.
B. Oh,
No one
okay.
said B.
So you both lost.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fine.
I should have just taken the point. Lied. But
You
you know
shoulda
what? Your
lied.
mama don't lie. Example right here.
All right. This is from Raekwon.
Help your dad,
Raekwon. How do you say it?
Help
You're
your dad,
laughing
honey.
because you're laughing like you know what it is.
Is it reckon?
No, wait, let me see.
No, I can't because I have all my answers on here.
Wait.
Raekwon.
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 Maybe it sounds really familiar.
All right. The song is Cream. All right. No question I would speed for cracks and weed.
I love how this is starting.
Is he from Spokane?
A, because that's my code and creed. B, the combination made my eyes bleed. Or C, that's what I want and what I need.
C.
A.
And you are both wrong again.
I was
No
thinking it was
question
B.
I would speed for cracks and weed. The combination made my eyes bleed.
Yeah,
All right. Still tied 1-1. All right, here we go. Mos Def.
I don't.
All right.
Choosing the worst people.
But these are like the most
I mean,
famous.
No,
so.
not like the worst people, but like.
I know. It probably
Don't
they
know
probably
these
made a hit, yeah, and then you haven't listened.
I'm waiting for Will
But
Smith. and
that's
it's just not
that's
I'm waiting
that's
for, like,
best
Cardi B and
because your mom has listened to none of these. So. All right, Mos Def. Crack mothers, crack babies, and AIDS patients.
Oh my gosh.
Young bloods can't spell, but they could rock you in a PlayStation. B. It ain't all it's cracked up to be. Or C. It's all good in my hood.
Wait, say the.
Crack mothers, crack babies, and AIDS patients. Young bloods can't spell, but they could rock you in PlayStation. Or crack mothers, crack babies, and AIDS patients. It ain't all it's cracked up to be. Or crack mothers, crack babies, and AIDS patients. It's all good in my hood.
I feel like it's B.
I think it's A.
It is A. They could rock you in a PlayStation.
I thought about it.
All right. Next one up is Scarface. No tears. I got this killer up inside of me. I can't talk to my mother. A. I go get high with my brother. B. So I talk to my diary. Or C. I feel it tied up behind me.
What rapper has a diary?
It's got a unicorn on it. It's really nice.
I feel like A.
C.
You are both wrong. So I talk to my diary.
What is it? Oh my gosh.
I can't talk to my mother, so I talk to my diary. All right. Next up is Kanan in Struggling. All right. My life owes me like an overdose. I'm slowly A. Drifting into the arms of trouble, then trouble holds me. Or B. My life owes me like an overdose. I'm slowly drifting away like smoke on a highway. Or C. My life owes me like an overdose. I'm slowly drifting away to another shore where I can be free.
B.
You're both wrong. Drifting into the arms of trouble, then trouble holds me. All right, 2 more to go. Kid Cudi, The Prayer.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! No, go back, go back. Oh my gosh! No.
Is this
What's wrong with Kid Cudi?
is this good or bad?
Is it cutie?
Is it cutie? Did I say it wrong, or do you know the song?
Is it Cuddy?
It's Cuddy.
Oh, I even knew it was Cuddy.
All
Oh my
right.
gosh.
I'm gonna cry. Actually.
Okay, so Kid Cudi, The Prayer.
Cutie.
Is he? Okay, all right, listen up because you're behind. So you better know this one. You better pull this off.
Oh my god.
And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. A. But please don't cry. Just know that I have made these songs for you. B. But please don't cry, 'cause that's how I roll. Or C. But please don't cry, 'cause I hated you all along.
A.
C.
Taylor comes through.
Ooh.
I know how my boy is.
All right. Oh, your boy. Uh-oh. What is that?
boy.
Oh, is that stuck to me? Oh.
Yo, whoa!
Apparently I have like a 3-foot chest hair. Oh, okay. We'll just tuck
Okay,
that
I
in.
thought that was like 5 inches long, just like on my
was
leg.
wrong.
Okay.
That was wrong. Okay.
Gotta go to my chest hair cutter. All right. The score is tied, and this is the last one I have. Prodigy, Shook Ones, Part 2. All right. For all those who want to profile and pose, rock in your face. A. Stab your brain with your nose bone. Nice. B. You are a big disgrace. Or C. I feel you across the inner space.
Wait, say the line again.
For all of those who want to profile and pose, rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone is A. B. For all of those who want to profile and pose, rock you in your face, you are a big disgrace. Or C, for all of those who want to profile and pose, rock you in your face, I feel you across the inner space.
I'm tied between B and C.
This is the tiebreaker.
I'm going to say A just because I like Nosebone.
Yeah, because that's a reason.
It's different.
I'm going to go with... say B again. Like the whole line with B.
Say the whole B. For all of those who want to profile and pose, rock you in your face, you are a big disgrace.
Okay, so now say C.
For all of those who want to profile and pose, rock you in your face, I feel you across the inner space.
I feel like it's B.
Or do you think it's A, like that Mom had with the nose bone?
I want B.
You want B?
Yeah.
How do I tell you this?
No.
Your mother got more rap songs to lyrics.
What?
It is stab your brain with your nose bone.
I listened to
like the way that sounded.
God.
It's a copy paste. And here's the, you know what? I started looking through these, and the ones that I wrote all rhyme, and the rest of them do not. You are a disgrace, inner space, in your face. All of those rhymed. I'm a terrible rapper, or the best.
Because I don't really listen to those people. Like,
Well, I know.
Kid
That's why I
Cudi.
got them. I didn't want to get a bunch that you've heard.
How come you didn't do like Eminem or like Cardi B, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil P?
You know what? None of those came up. That was like the first 7 that I saw, and so I just copied. You know what?
Choose better songs.
Okay, so next week we'll play this again, and I will try and get more current ones, and then we'll see.
And you can try to redeem yourself.
You know what?
I'm gonna.
Because you lost, you can go ahead and eat dinner. You know, eat a piece of chicken or something. I got nothing.
Dinner.
Okay. I got nothing really.
Dinner.
I have no desserts. I have nothing. Your sister took all the ice cream, so.
She took all of it.
Well, she kind of had to. Oh, yeah, I think she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
Well, she kind of had a giant tube down her throat, so. You know what? When your appendix bursts, we'll put a tube down your throat, and you can have ice cream.
Cool. There was this kid who his appendix burst, and then like literally 2 days after that, or sometime around there was this other kid. He was like 15 at the time, so like he would have known. And he picked the kid up who had the appendix burst, or like after the surgery, he picks him up like over his shoulder and starts shaking him around.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, not cool.
Yo, that was the same kid who kept stepping on the back of my shoes, and then I fell, scraped my knees and my elbows, and cracked my phone. And he didn't say sorry.
Oh.
He just went home.
Well, he sounds like a winner.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, well, hopefully he's somewhere digging a ditch. Okay, we are going to go to some celebrity news. Taylor, you're more than welcome to stick around.
Oh, there's an eyelash in my eye. Ow!
She's been picking at her. Okay, you know what? How about why don't you go in the bathroom and help her pick her eyelash out of her eyeball?
I already did a belly button today.
I know, your hands are gross now, so you might as well just...
Help me.
I'll go ahead, you know what? I'll go ahead and read an ad here anyway. Since it's ad-free, I'm not going to enter anything. Don't forget, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/BurrMartinExperience. They've got over 180,000 titles, and the one I am actually going to sign up for is Burt Reynolds does his own autobiography, and I've heard it's outstanding. And a guy who says he just wanted to have fun his whole life, you got to listen to that. So anyway, Audible's offering a free audiobook. It's free. And then a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. You can download or pick another audiobook free by trying audible.com. So to download your free audiobook today, tomorrow, next week, think about it. Go to audibletrial.com/BurrMartinExperience. Also, the merch site is up. Yes, the Burr Martin Experience podcast has merch. There, anything from... Wait, you going to come back? Or is she going to co-host? Okay.
Hello.
So you can go to the merch thing, and we have shirts from Jenny's quote, "You sound bald." We have official podcast swag. We have henchman shirts, which I've always thought were a great cosplay thing, to just have henchman 1 or henchman 2 on your shirt. And they come in baby sizes, so your little baby can be a henchman. So go to cafepress.com/therealselfiedad. That's right, /therealselfiedad, and check out some of the merch. All right, Taylor.
Hello.
Dancing with the Stars is on season, 146 or something. They have new stars for the new lineup. Do you want to see if you know any of them?
I probably don't know them, but go ahead.
All right, they're using the word star. Okay, you got to talk into the mic, because see,
Okay.
you're down here like this,
Sorry.
and I'm way up here. All right, Alexis Wren.
She sounds familiar.
Okay, she's an internet celebrity. You got to quit picking at your eyeballs.
I'm sorry, it still hurts.
She is an internet celebrity with more than 12 million Instagram followers, apparently.
I don't know everyone on social media, okay?
All right, well, I'm just saying. Nikki Glazer.
Don't know her.
Okay, she's a stand-up comedian. You got to talk
I'm
into the
sorry.
mic. She was one of the best things on the roast of Bruce Willis, and not much else. For the roast, there was no one else that was really funny. Ivana Lynch.
Don't know her.
Okay, she's from the Harry Potter movies. She played Luna Lovegood.
I don't really like Harry Potter.
John Schneider.
No idea.
He was a Duke boy. All right, you gotta talk about it. You're way down. No one can. You're wasting breath talking.
Hello.
There we go. Okay. Mary Lou Retton.
Don't know her.
Okay, she was a famous gymnast back in 1984. DeMarcus Ware.
Don't know.
Okay, football player. Bobby Bones.
Don't know.
Author and radio personality. Danielle Umstead.
That sounds familiar.
She's a Paralympian and alpine skier.
I probably don't know.
Juan Pablo de Pace.
No idea.
Okay, he's on Netflix's Fuller House. Joe Amabile.
No idea.
Apparently, he's known as Grocery Store Joe from The Bachelorette.
I don't know. I hate those shows so much.
All of these people you shouldn't know, I think, is Nancy McKeon.
No idea.
Janny, do you know who Nancy McKeon is? No. She was, speaking of Joe, she was Joe on The Facts of Life. Okay. Yes. And Milo Manheim.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Okay, do you watch Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Okay, you got. I'm serious.
Yeah, I
Okay,
watch
there
Disney
we go.
Channel.
Okay, people can hear you. He was on a show called Zombies. Does that sound familiar?
No.
He was on Disney show channel Zombies.
Probably one of their new shows.
And
I hate
apparently
those
he
shows.
danced. So, yeah. So I said probably unfavorable. All right. John Hamm would like to play Batman. I know you don't know who John Hamm is, but this is
I like
very
his last
exciting.
name.
In an interview, in-depth host Graham Bessinger, the former Mad Men star, revealed his interest in taking the role of Bruce Wayne, depending on the script. I'm a huge comic book fan, always have been. And Ben Affleck, who portrayed the Cape Crusader, is leaving. This is very exciting because he's handsome, he's funny, and he's rich. He's already Bruce Wayne. So, this one, you know what? This story goes out for Cassie. Page 6 says that Jennifer Love Hewitt, most memorable date involved pizza, vodka, and Betty White. Recalling her evening out with the beloved star, Hewitt told James Corden on Tuesday at the Late Late Show that her night with former co-star Betty White, who's now 96, was the most nervous date she's ever had. We're chatting, we're having the best of time, and I don't drink a lot, so maybe 3.5 vodkas in, I was like, whoa, I'm feeling this dinner with White. Hewitt shared, noticing that her dinner companion was a bit off balance. We go to leave, and all of a sudden I see Betty sort of going this way and that way, and I find myself going this way and that way, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am the bodyguard of a national treasure. I have to snap it together. Don't kill Betty White on your date, she said. We got drunk, and we had gummy bears. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Betty White co-starred in the Hallmark movie The Lost Valentine. She loves pizza and vodka. She's all of us. You know why?
Wow.
You know who Betty White is, right?
I've heard of her many times.
It's on the Golden Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Cassie's one of Cassie's favorite. All right, Hollywood Reporter reports that Henry Cavill, who has played Superman in 3 films, and we don't really discuss the first one, is parting ways with Warner Brothers. The British actor who donned the blue suit in Man of Steel and starred in Batman vs. Superman and last year's Justice is hanging up his cape. Gal Gadot is returning for Wonder Woman, and Jason Momoa will still be Aquaman. Ezra Miller remains on board to be in a Flash movie, but DC has since decided not to go further with the Man of Steel himself. That's because Warner's has shifted focus for a Supergirl movie, which will be an origin story. Good, because we need another one of those. Do you know how Supergirl got to be?
No.
Okay, you're the only one in the world then, because everyone knows. We all know Batman's parents died. Stop telling us.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
We all know how Superman got here. Stop telling us how they just do the movie. I'm so sick of these. Cavill joined Ben Affleck, who isn't expected to reprise his role either. They keep changing. I don't like how they're changing people. Like, because Tony Stark has been Iron Man for 10 years.
Yeah, he's too perfect for it.
Right.
I mean, they can't.
And Captain America is Captain America. But Batman, there's been, 3 in the past decade? And now Superman, who they had to CGI his mustache off because he couldn't be bothered to shave his mustache.
What?
If you watch the first part of Justice League, there's a scene where these kids have like a home video camera, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's Superman! It's Superman!" When he talks, watch his top lip. They had to CGI it. He had a mustache, and they had to CGI over it, and it's like he doesn't move his top lip. And once you notice it, you can't stop looking at it. It's bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Weird.
Okay, so that is it for celebrity news. Now we're going to go into nearly news because this is a commercial-free podcast.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yup.
All right. 10 News reports the secret formula for WD-40. You know what WD-40 is, right?
Sounds familiar.
That's the little can we have that, like, if something squeaks, you spray it on there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's got a new home after transferring banks. The recipe for the water-displacing spray was in a suitcase handcuffed to the CEO, and it was escorted by armed guards in a Brinks truck. The commonly used household product was invented 65 years ago. It's written on a spiral notepad and is actually the notebook of the chemist at the time. The formula has never been patented, which is why there is such an emphasis on its security. I don't know if I'll ever see it again, said Gary Ridge, who kissing the suitcase before it was placed into the vault. The $2.5 billion company is headquarters in San Francisco. So
what the heck?
It's the ingredients of WD-40. No one knows. The only time it's ever been written down was on a spiral notebook, and that's from the guy who invented it. They put it in a suitcase, they had armed guards, and they moved it to a different facility.
Bro, it's a bottle that makes stuff stop going squeaky.
But if
squeaky.
people find out what it's made of, they'll copy it and make money. And everybody knows something squeaks, you just get WD-40. It's like if you need a copy, what do you say? I need a Xerox. Or if you need a tissue, you need a Kleenex. Well, Kleenex is the name of a company. So that's just automatically what you think. So they got a good thing going.
Did you know that there are only, it was like 3 or 5 people that know the ingredients to like Coca-Cola or something like that?
Yeah. And KFC.
KFC?
The Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe is only known to a select few. In fact, as far as I know, only 2 people know the recipe. Which is weird, because I think in this day and time, you could just take like a little DNA sample somewhere and figure it out. Okay. SF Gate reports whenever a major weather event is bearing down, there's a certain popular urban myth that goes tending through the circulation on social media. Among the popular recurring offenders are false reports of real-life sharknadoes. Radio host Rush Limbaugh poked fun at that myth this week when he read aloud from a fake story saying the Hurricane Florence has sucked up sharks from the ocean and is now full of said sharks. New reports of NOAA aircraft show sharks have been lifted up into the hurricane. So those of you in the target path of North Carolina, South Carolina, in addition to the pig manure, in addition to the slop, in addition to the floods, in addition to the cars rolling around on the waters in front of your house, in addition to the mudslides and the landslides, now you might end up with a shark in your front yard.
Is this real?
No, well, it can't happen.
Okay.
See, people thought of that because there's been a couple of towns where it rained frogs, and people freaked out, and what it was a cyclone had gotten... And nobody saw it because it shot the frogs up so high. Well, the cyclone dissipates, and then all of a sudden these frogs just come raining down. And gross, because I want you to think of frogs from like 10,000 feet being dropped onto the pavement.
Ew, they just splat. What if one lands on your head?
All right, New York Daily News reports a Pennsylvania man was sentenced up to 5 years in prison this week for firing a shotgun at his home because he feared there were clowns inside. At first, they were curled up in a ball, but when he started to run around, so I tried to shoot them, Nathan Mathis told Reading cops. The 35-year-old Mathis, who was drunk at the time, said he was aiming at 2 small clowns in the Reading home during the incident. Investigators did not find anyone inside the second-floor apartment and said the shooting put his neighbor on the first floor of the building in danger. Police say they found Mathis clutching a shotgun outside the house. A bottle of vodka could be found, and he smelled of alcohol. Mathis pleaded guilty to discharging the firearm to an unrelated drunk driving charge earlier this year. He was given a sentence of 22 months to 5 years. He is being credited with nearly 500 days he has already served in prison. Lawyer Eugene Teneri spoke to the court that he battles with alcohol and said that his client had some type of hallucinatory event and was not trying to harm anyone. He was just trying to shoot clowns, which are what? People are inside clowns. Yes, he was trying to actually hurt somebody. He was shooting at clowns.
I feel like I would do that even at, like, I'm not saying like I'm going to get drunk, but like I feel like I would just do that, period, because I'm like really paranoid about everything.
I'm not saying people should shoot clowns, but they are creepy.
I like clowns.
Okay, so it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
You hear a sound.
You're trying to make it creepy for a clown.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, okay, it's noon.
Okay.
All the curtains are open and the sun is shining.
Okay.
You come upstairs and there's a guy standing there with a ski mask and a knife.
Well, not all clowns that have knives.
Okay, so you come upstairs, it's noon, the curtains are open, the sun is shining, and there's a clown standing in your living room.
What if you own a clown?
No way, I'm leaving. You don't own a clown. No one owns a clown.
What if you just own a statue of a clown? Like, what if you just had a doll? Like, oops,
Okay,
I
what
left
if you
it on the
don't?
ground. What if you do?
What if you don't?
Then that's not my problem.
At least I know what the dude with a knife wants. I don't know what the clown wants. Because we're both just staring at each other.
What if, like,
what am I doing home at noon?
What if he's just, like, homeless and he just wants to make someone laugh?
Oh, that's even weirder. A homeless clown.
What?
Riding the rails. He's got one of those sticks with a handkerchief on the back. He's got, like, big shoes and a clown nose in it.
If he made me laugh because he's a clown, then I would, like, invite him for, like, Italian sodas or something.
That honking of the nose thing would get on your nerves after a while, wouldn't it?
I love that.
You're trying to watch a show. I'm like, shut up. This is the final episode of the Mindy Project. I need to watch this. Oh, that drive you insane.
No, I love that.
Or like, can you get me a pop? And then his like feet squeak all the way to the kitchen. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
I wouldn't be able to even drink the pop because I'd be laughing.
So, well, that's why he comes by with a seltzer bottle and shoots it into your mouth because that's supposed to be funny too.
Goodness.
Or he says, open your mouth and squirts it out of a flower.
Goodness, okay.
All right. UPI reports the National Toy Hall of Fame in New York announced finalists for its 2018 induction class. So there's a Toy Hall of Fame, and these are the ones that may or may not get chosen. And Magic 8 Ball? Signs point to no. He-Man figures. Yeah, He-Man figures. And Uno. The National Toy Hall of Fame, located in the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, announced 12 finalists this week that we whittled down to 3 inductees. They can only take 3 of these. The 12 finalists are American Girl dolls. Yeah.
I don't like them.
Chalk.
Chalk. Like, the thing.
Like, yeah. Chalk is just a rock.
Yeah, you can literally just grab a rock and scrape it and it's
do the
chalk.
same thing as chalk. Chutes and ladders.
I don't think I've heard of that.
That's the one where, okay, I think you probably do snakes. Snakes and ladders. It's like the one where it's like a board and you either get to go up a ladder or you land on a snake or a slide and you got to go all the way back down.
Oh, that reminds me of
Real life?
No.
Like you could be really high and then all of a sudden something happens. Like a hospital bill because your daughter had an appendicitis. And then all of a sudden, now you're poor.
No.
No?
It reminds me of I think it's called Snakes and Escalators on
that's
SpongeBob.
Okay. Did they get that at Glove World? Okay, so the Magic 8 Ball, Fisher-Price Corn Popper. That's the thing you always see little kids with. You push it, and it has little balls inside to pop, 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 pop. It's like it's making popcorn. Those have been around forever. He-Man figures, Pinball. That probably should have... I don't know if that's a toy. I mean, it's kind of, but I don't know.
What pinball again?
Like just pinball. They think like a pinball game should be it's a toy hall of fame.
What is it again? I forgot.
Pinball, that's with the ball and the 2 flippers. Remember when we went to the Jedi Alliance place and they had retro games and in the back there's like you pull the... Oh, that's right. You were with her. You pull the stick and the ball goes.
Giant.
Oh,
thingy.
I feel kind of bad that I've had to explain
I
pinball.
forgot what it was.
Okay. Sled.
A sled.
A sled.
Wow.
Kind of think that probably should have been in there. Tic-tac-toe. That's like chalk. You can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
I could play tic-tac-toe just at a restaurant if I pull out a pencil. I don't think that's fair. Tickle Me Elmo.
No, oh my gosh.
No, we should probably put all those in a hole somewhere and burn it. Let's see. Electric football. A little electric football game. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. He had one for a second. Like just a little handheld. And the game of Uno. These 12 toys represent different play styles from outdoor to imaginative and different areas from ancient to more modern. But they all share an undeniable ability to inspire people of all ages to learn, create, discover through play. The museum is switching up its process this year by allowing the public to vote on Player's Choice. September 12th through the 19th, though. Get your votes in today. The poll will count as one member of the 23-member National Selection Advisory Committee, which makes the final decision of the inductees.
I feel like Uno should be in there.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Uno's.
Yeah, like
Uno's been around.
Everyone knows Uno. It's a good game.
True, everybody knows Uno. All right, Janny, I want you to take part in this one. This is the Facebook question. So I want you two to think about it while I'm saying it. So the Facebook question this week was, if you could own one piece of movie memorabilia, what would it be?
That's way too much of a big word.
So a movie prop. Let's see. So what's the last movie you saw?
I don't remember. I don't really watch movies anymore.
Oh, come on. Speak of the microphone.
I don't really watch movies anymore.
So, what's the last movie she watched?
We just went to one at Hayden. What was it?
Hayden Theater. Oh. Wait, were you with us?
You and I went to
We saw Ant-Man, but what else was the... I know you went with us to a movie. What was it?
Your favorite movie?
And I think you know it. You're just not saying it on purpose.
No, I know it, but I don't know it.
Come on. I remember buying snacks for everybody. I remember walking in. What the heck was it?
Oh, wasn't it Star Wars?
Was it Solo? Was it? Okay, so a movie prop would be the Millennium Falcon. A movie prop would be Chewbacca's costume. So you think of of all the movies that you've seen, what's something from that movie that you would like? So for Facebook, if you want to answer any of these questions, I usually post them around Friday or Saturdays, and you can just go to the Burr Martin Experience podcast on Facebook. Daniel says Johnny 5, the Short Circuit 2 version. Catherine's.
I was talking about Johnny 24.
No, not from Con Air. Of course, having him around would be pretty cool. Machete, go answer the door. Catherine Day says Transformers, the Optimus Prime truck. Deece Casillas says the mom from Taboo 2. Deece, she's got to be like 96. But I say that, as I'm saying it, I'm thinking that may be what he's into. So Deece from the Social Hour and the Drinking Debate. So tune into those on Pants Pending Network. Kenneth says the 15 commandments because I know I can piece those broken 5 back together. The 15, the 10 commandments. Jack Lewis says Brewster's Millions. Stephen Bateman, all of the weapons from the Romeo and Juliet modernization. I rather enjoy the way they. What's the last Romeo and Juliet? Steve, you're gonna have to. Why haven't I seen that? Is what I gotta say. Adam Tucker from the Nerd. Immediate answer: Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. After additional thought, though, the helmet of the stormtrooper who hit his head on the door in Star Wars. And Ellen Ripley's combo rifle, grenade launcher, flamethrower from Aliens. Folger Emerson says, I know it's TV. Well, then, no, you don't get. I'm not going to say your answer because I said movies only. I said difficulty level, movies only. And you went to television. So I'm not saying your answer. I'm just saying your name. And finally, Damian Martinez says anything from the Power Rangers movie. I don't think I could have that because I would probably pick Rita Repulsa because that was I just ruined the entire joke. Who's the girl from Pitch Perfect? Elizabeth Banks. She's from the Power Rangers movie, but I doubt she'd live here because the dirty face you're giving me. Yeah, she's
everything.
I know. I actually, if you look in the back of our wedding videos, I see her in the background too. She directed it actually. She's in everything. Okay, so what did you guys figure? Is there a certain prop?
All right. Well, my needs are small.
Obviously, I know who you married.
I want the little horse that the kid kept on the Black Stallion.
Oh, okay.
The little figure.
Was that lost in the sand or something? I remember sand blowing on it or something.
His dad gave it to him, and he hung on to it and
really
kept it. And then his dad died.
No,
course,
why?
So.
Nostalgia or just?
His dad actually won a poker game with all of these very rich sheiks.
I
Remember
know
that?
But why do you want it?
Why do I? It's cool. It's
okay.
Well, because I had Egyptian Arabian horses, and it was a really cool.
So it's like a
really
nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay.
I like that stuff.
Taylor, do you think of anything?
It's kind of a prop. No, it's not really a prop. Now that I say it, I would want. You know the movie Nerve?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one where. Wait, was Nerve the one where they kept having to do like a truth or dare thing? Like it kept having to. They'd get a thing on their phone, and they had to keep doing. Okay.
Yeah, I would want that game.
You'd want that game. Wasn't that just a dude answering questions though, or
what?
Doing questions?
What?
Wasn't that just a guy texting them questions?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
Okay, Nerve. You can either be a player or a watcher, and it has Machine Gun Kelly in it. And I love that movie so much.
Okay.
And
I hear he's in a fight with Eminem. I've just been told.
So he's like, you're a watcher or a player, and you get told a dare that you have to do, and then you get money for it. So, like in the movies, like steal this outfit and stuff.
Okay.
I'd want that game.
Really don't want something tangible you can hold?
I would want MGK.
Okay. We're all done with that. All right. The top 10 movie memorabilia that have actually sold for the most. These are so they went to auction with a lot of these. The Cowardly Lion costume from The Wizard of Oz went for $3 million.
Jeez.
Audrey Hepburn's ascot dress from My Fair Lady in 2011 went for $3.7 million. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in Star Wars in 2008 sold for $240,000.
I can see that. I feel like it'd be for more, though.
Yeah. The Maltese, but you got to think about it. It's just a flashlight with some stuff glued on it, really.
But it's from a famous movie.
The Maltese Falcon. You wouldn't know, but this is like Humphrey Bogart. Went for $4.1 million. And basically it's a statue, and the whole thing about it is it's really worthless. Like in the movie, it's worthless, but it went for $4.1 million. The DeLorean from Back to the Future went for $541,000. I would think that would be more.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the car.
That's the car.
Dorothy's ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz in 2000 went for $666,000. I don't know, a piece. Audrey Hepburn's Breakfast at Tiffany's black dress in 2006 went for $807,000. Number 3, Steve McQueen's racing suit from Le Mans went for $984,000. Marilyn Monroe's dress from The 7-Year Itch. I know you've seen that. The white dress, Marilyn Monroe, she's standing over the heat grate.
Oh,
and it
isn't
blows
she
up.
like... Okay, yeah,
Right. Some creepy dude bought it for $4.6 million.
Jeez.
Has that sitting somewhere. And he put it on at least once. He had to have.
If I were him, I would do it too.
All right. And, hey, we almost lived with this next one. Number 1
No, I know what you're talking about.
James Bond's Aston Martin.
Oh, no. I thought we were talking about something like Chica involved.
No. Aston Martin from Goldfinger went for $4.6 million. I think I would have the little gold idol in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, when the famous scene where Indiana Jones is staring at the gold idol.
Oh.
I would like that gold, like that actual gold idol. I think that would be cool.
Don't you have like a weird copy of it
downstairs? It's a bank.
It's
with
creepy,
nothing in it.
But I like it.
Okay, so that is the show, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning in. We're going higher in listenership every week, and I'm very excited about that. So I can't thank you guys enough. Join us next week, and we'll try to be on time. Don't forget to go to the Facebook page, Burr Martin Experience Podcast, and you can answer the question, and I will say your name and your answer over the air. And I know that's got to be thrilling for you. Let's see, what else do we got going? You got anything coming up? School?
Mom and I have a dog show. So.
Oh, that's right. You may be leaving. So we may or may not have some stories from Montana.
Well, she's not going to be going to Montana because it comes into school days.
Oh, okay.
But there's...
Kennewick is the next
one. The Kennewick. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm wearing, if I can find it, I'm wearing a onesie tomorrow to school.
Okay.
Don't fight.
I was going to wear a onesie to work, and they frown upon it all the time. I know. I can't believe it. And I don't have a onesie, so I just show up in my underwear because I figure that's just one piece.
You're gross.
And they frown on it.
I'm going downstairs.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Taylor, for sitting in. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for everyone. And for my allies overseas, I really should think of these more because I really loved it. And now that there's pressure, I hardly know. So, yeah. To my allies overseas, you know what? Stay safe and have your appendix checked or removed. All right. Like I'm like Bob Barker. I'll just end them all like that. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Have your appendix checked or taken out. Goodbye, everybody.
It's all going to be okay. Trust me. I'm a doctor. But it's up to us to make it okay. It's time to be positively rebellious and rebelliously positive. As long as we stand up for what we believe in, don't give in to anger or violence. Look out for the little guy. Keep an eye on the big guys. Refuse to keep our mouths shut. And just generally try not to be dicks. Every little thing is gonna be all right.
The
Burr Martin Experience is a Pants Pending Studio production.
And part of Pants Pending Studios Entertainment Network.
Find all of our great shows at pantspending.com.
Get in touch with us by emailing us from pantspending.com.
If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to the show, throw the show a rating on iTunes, and don't forget to tell all your friends.
If you want to help support the network, you can at patreon.com/pantspending.
Thanks for making us a part of your listening day.
Okay, all together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pants Pending.
Close enough.